Hey guys, it's Kwan here, and today we're going to be talking about Guardian Druids and Shadowlands. What's changed? Well, a few things have actually changed for Guardian Druids and Shadowlands. The first being Cyclone. Cyclone has been added to our base toolkit. Although you can't use it in bear form, it is going to have its uses and utility in PvP and stuff like that when you're outside of bear form. Berserk is returned as a cooldown for us. It's an offensive and defensive cooldown. It's going to reduce the cost of your abilities, the rage cost of Iron Fur, and the cooldown of Frenzy Regen. Renewal's returning as a talent that took over the place of where Ursul's Vortex was in our talent row. Ursul's Vortex has actually been added into the Resto affinity, so as well as like Typhoon is now in the Balance affinity. Renewal's going to be pretty strong in certain cases, right? Having a 30% heal that's usable in all forms on a 1.5 minute cooldown is not bad. It'll have its uses for sure. Heart of the Wild is now a talent in the level 35 row. It's going to be able to empower your certain affinities. So like if we're going Resto Affinity, right, it's going to give us a really strong raid heal utility, being able to pop Heart of Wild in the Resto and just mass heal the raid, right? Or using it kind of with Feral Affinity to increase your damage and stuff like that. Outside of that, we've actually received a new talent called Tooth and Claw. What Tooth and Claw does is that it's an auto attacks have a 20% chance to empower your next Maul, stacking up to 2 times. Empower Maul deals 40% increased damage and reduces the target's damage to you by 15% for 6 seconds. Currently on the beta, it stacks, and we've had some crazy numbers of it stacking, all the way up to like 105% reduced damage if you have a lot of like haste, bloodlust, so on and so forth. Realistically, it's probably not going to stack, or if it does stack, it's only going to go to like 30%. I hope it does stack, because that'd be a really cool change to have with Tooth and Claw, but hopefully they don't obviously make it overpowered where you can just take 100% reduced damage, right? So that's the changes to our talent row. Some of the cooldowns have actually been changed here in Shadowlands as well. So as an example, Survival Instincts has went from a 4-minute cooldown in like BFA down to 3 minutes in Shadowlands. Same thing with Barkskin. Barkskin was a 1.5-minute cooldown. It's actually now only a 60-second cooldown here in Shadowlands, which is going to feel great. Let's talk about Legendaries, because we've actually just received a Lunar Legendary not too long ago. And by not too long ago, I mean legitimately like a week. So it's actually called Ursox Fury Remember. In bear form, Thrash has a 15% chance to trigger an additional Thrash. It's like Positive Outlook was on your artifact weapon in Legion. But the new effect is that Thrash grants you an Absorb Shield for 100% of the damage it deals. That's including the dot that you put on or the bleed. Right now in Mythic Plus, it seems very strong and tied with our other really good legendary called the Natural Order's Will. What that one does is it Barkskin reduces the damage by an additional 15%, and when it either begins or ends, you gain Iron Fur and Frenzy Regen. So it's going to be interesting which one of these two come out on top by the end. There's a chance Ursox Fury Remember will be changed a little bit depending on how Blizzard sees it, but currently I don't see it being overpowered in any situation. But it's an overall very good legendary in AoE. So that's our kind of things for Guardian Druid so far. So, how does it feel? Guardian feels great. If you liked Guardian in Legion or in BFA, not a lot has actually changed, right? And which has been kind of unfortunate that it feels like Guardian has not been like looked after for a while until now. But it is nice that we are getting some changes, you know, and going in a better direction than we currently were. I hope to see some different changes, right? One of the big things right now is in our level 50 row, we have Tooth and Claw and Pulverize. Those are both for basically the same type of thing. Currently, I'd say Pulverize is better overall, but if you're talking about like pure raid damage and single target, Tooth and Claw is going to destroy, which is going to feel great as an option now, instead of just always taking Rend and Tear. Hopefully maybe they'll reduce something where they get rid of Pulverize, maybe, if they decide to keep Tooth and Claw and make like a burst talent. So like Lunar Beam got replaced, RIP Lunar Beam. I know all of you loved it. But what if they brought Lunar Beam back or something like it that was just pure burst damage? It'd feel really cool. So hopefully that might be a change. There are obviously some other changes as well that Guardian kind of wants to receive. I know a lot of people want Frenzy Regen off the GCD. Pretty common, right? It does feel crappy. In my personal opinion, I wish it was off the GCD, but at this point, WoW in general has kind of made some weird decisions with like GCD stuff. I'm kind of just used to it, but if it gets off the GCD, that'd be sick, right? But outside that, that's pretty much it for Guardian Druid. Guardian Druid feels totally fine. Obviously, if you have any questions or anything like that, obviously you can go to the Dream Grove. There's some amazing Guardian Druids there. Obviously, some other great streamers and people who have been writing up guides, their feedback, so on and so forth, and it's all amazing. You can also catch me on my Twitch channel at twitch.tv/Kwantank, and obviously you'll find me in the Discord as well. But outside that, if you guys have any other questions or anything you want me to cover in a video, just let me know, and hopefully I'll be able to talk to you guys soon. Peace. Have a great rest of your day.